let's take some of the elements from the universal set. It should not be more extended more than the universal set. So A, B, and then after let's take some of the elements of the middle one, E, F. And next one, let's take another set, Q set. In Q set, we are going to take few elements, B, C, D, E, G. Okay, that much. So if you have to represent this one information in a Venn diagram, first of all, the first one is to be able to prepare the Venn diagram. The questions will be in such form and to be converted into the solution by using Venn diagram. So first of all, represent the question may say like this: represent the above information in a Venn diagram. Dear students, why this diagram is known as Venn diagram? Because at the very first time, Mr. John Venn had invented this diagram. As a result, in the name of him, the diagram is known as Venn diagram. Venn diagram. First one is to represent this information in Venn diagram. Second one is, okay, I will write later on what should be found from here through the Venn diagram. Let's prepare the Venn diagram for this information. First of all, dear students, when you write solution and after when you start, if you are going to prepare the Venn diagram, then firstly write representing the above information in a Venn diagram. Once again, I want to repeat it. Representing the above information in a Venn diagram. To write that, and then after prepare the Venn diagram. So I'm going to prepare here. This is the rectangle representing the universal set. Your keeping U represents all the elements of universal set are included inside that rectangle. Okay, we should not forget to make here at any places in the upper side, upper corner of the length side of the rectangle and U. Okay, now as there are two subsets of universal set, how many circles should you have to prepare? Of course, two. So let's prepare the circle. One, another. Because we are making intersected circle, is there are some common elements in between the two subsets of the universal set. So in the place of in the circle first, let's write here P, and in the circle second, let's write here Q, because here are given two subsets of universal set as P and Q. Dear students, at the time also I had told, first of all, the first priority should be given to the common elements in between the two sets, and to those common elements we need to keep in the intersected part of the Venn diagram or intersected part of the both circles. So which are the common elements, let's say, in between the P set and Q set? A, is there A? No. B, okay, let's stick here, dear friends, so that it will be easier to keep other elements later on, because by repeating we should not write the elements inside the Venn diagram. So only one time we use this information. So B is common in between the two both sets. That's why B I'm going to keep in here, because it is the common area of the both sets. The element B is the common element of both P set as well as Q set. Now another one, if you see E, look at here, dear friends, E is also common. So E also must be in the intersected place, E. Now if you see other elements, do they match with the with each other in between the P set and Q set? No. That means we don't need to include in the intersected place other elements. Now we need to cure other elements which are the pure elements of P, or in another words, if we say which are the elements of P only, and after which are the elements of Q only, let's keep in the Venn diagram. So if you see in the P set, B and E, as we have already kept, now A and F are remain. So they belong to the side P only, A and F. So let's keep here A and F. And later on, dear students, there will be tag question or short question after this one, after representing the Venn information given in a Venn diagram. Another question may be there, what is P difference Q? Okay, at the time, if P difference Q question say, you need to write those elements which are only of P. It means these two, A and F. Now similarly, as we have completed plotting the elements of set P, let's go to Q set. In Q set, if you see, dear students, B and E we have already kept in the common area of the both sets. Now remaining elements C, D and G, they are the only elements of set Q. So we need to plot these three elements in the place of only Q. I mean, in another words, if we say that place is Q difference P, so we are going to include C, D, and then after, which one is remain? G. So G will come in here. B and E are already kept in here in the common place. Now other elements C, D, and G, these are the elements which belong to only Q. That's why we are going to include them. We have included in the place of Q only. Did you understand? Now, dear students, the Venn diagram preparation is not completed. It's still left to plot the elements of universal set. If you see in universal set A to H, there are A to H elements. So all the elements should be plotted inside the rectangle, whether it is in circle or outside of the circle. So if you see the elements, A is already over B, A, B, then after C we have already kept there, so we cannot repeat the element. Now D we have already kept there, isn't it? Now E is there, F we have already kept there, now G also. Now which one is remain? Of course, the H is remain. So you can keep that as outside of the circle but inside of the rectangle. Where to keep? Students become confused in that case, but no need to be confused, dear students. You can keep outside of the circle anywhere. It doesn't mean that you need to keep in here, but where there is more blank space in that area, if you keep, the Venn diagram that you have prepared will be neat and clean. And dear students, always whether you are in writing in mathematics or you are preparing other subject, there must be neat and clean handwriting. Those students who make better and neat and clean copy, they get somehow the benefits. So let's keep the elements, the remaining one from the universal set. I'm going to write here. Most of the people write this side because most of the peoples are right-handed. That's why they write this side. Although I'm right-handed, but I'm writing this side. We can write. It doesn't mean that we need to keep here or in other places, but it should be outside of the circle. That's all. Wherever you like to keep, wherever there is more blank space at the time, you can substitute or you can plot. So this is the representation of information, whatever given to us in a Venn diagram. Now secondly, dear students, you may be asked to find out several things, from the same question. So I'm going to write here what if the question say to find out A, P union Q, not A, P union Q, then which element should be included in P union Q? Of course, those elements which are in P and Q set, but while writing those elements, we are not allowed to repeat. Without repeating, we need to copy those elements from the both circle. So if you see in this circle, both circles, then in P set altogether, if you see, and if you manage these all, okay, alphabetically, then A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Up to G we can include in here. But it doesn't mean that you need to write alphabetically. You can include the elements in disorder also. But it is better to keep in order form so that it looks beautiful. So I'm going to write here A, B, C, D, E, F. Because up to F, from A to F, those elements are combined in the place of union, P union Q. Now similarly, dear students, if you have to find out another, okay, P intersection Q, what do you mean by this? You have understood, isn't it? P intersection Q represents the common elements in between the both sets. So if you see in between these two, the common area belongs to here, isn't it? So P intersection Q represents the elements containing in the common area. So if you take out from there, which are the elements? B and E. So the answer of P intersection Q will be, as per this question, B and E. Now similarly, dear students, if you have to find out P difference Q, okay, sometime you might be asked, or you may be asked in the future, P difference Q. I have already told about this. So if you see in the Venn diagram, P difference Q represents the elements containing in P set only, which are the pure elements of P set. So if you see in Venn diagram, A and F. So let's copy in the place of P difference Q, A, comma, F, and closing the information or the elements by a curly bracket. Now, dear students, 5 number. It's exactly opposite. P difference Q's, if it is written in here, Q difference P, if you have to find out what happens. Q difference P equals to those elements, you have got somehow clue, a kind of hints. P difference Q, if say, then only the elements of first. And Q difference P, if say, then we need to include the information which belong to only Q. So Q difference P equals to those elements which are included in only side of Q circle. If you see then C, D, and G, these are the elements to be included in Q difference P. So let's include in here C, comma, D, comma, G, and let's close the elements by a curly bracket. So this is the way of finding out the answer. Once again, dear friends, another question I'm going to take. Let's take another 6th number question. Okay, number 6 question. If question say to find out P union Q, what union Q complement, what will you do? Of course, P union Q represents the information inside the both circles without repeating. Then the bar represent, dear friends, accept the information of P union Q. That means accept, this one means accept A, B, C, D, E, F. Accept this means which one? Oh, sorry, dear friends, one information is left in here, G. G is remaining in here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G is also there. Okay. Now accept this A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Which one is remain? If you see, in the universal set, we have moved up to here inside the A union B or P union Q. So the remaining one. That means outside of the circle but inside of the rectangle, the elements which are present, that belongs to P union Q complement. So this sign is known as the complement sign. So P union Q equals to, if we need to take out, then there is only one element, H, isn't it? So H will be the answer of P union Q complement. Now, dear students, another one. the 7th number question. In a same question, I'm going to represent all the required things. Okay, what can be asked in the examination? Those all questions I'm going to represent. Now another one, P complement. If question say, then what will you do, dear friend? If question say P complement, that means the elements containing in P set excluding. That means except the elements of P set. If you see in circle, there is another also technique to find out this one. P by using hand. If you hide the whole circle of P, those elements which will remain, they belong to P complement. So if you hide P circle, if you hide this circle, then these elements will be hidden. But except these hidden elements, other elements are to be included. But at the time, one thing should be cleared, one thing should be kept in mind, dear students. We have hidden by using our hand this one. Now remaining elements means not only these three, this one also. So we need to include this one also. So P complement, if we have to find out, C except the circle P, C, D, G, H. So C, comma, D, comma, G, comma, H, comma, and let's close the curly bracket. So this is P complement. So once again, another question, let's take, dear students. 8th number question. Q complement, if you have to find out, then what will you do, dear students? You do yourself. Okay, Q complement, if you need to find out, if you have to find out Q complement, then what will you do? Just only hide the elements of Q set. It means accept the elements of Q set, accept the elements containing in circle Q. So if you have to hide this one, then the remaining elements A, F, and H. So in the place of Q complement, you need to include the elements except the Q circle A, comma, F, comma, H. You can write these elements in the altered form as well. It doesn't mean that always we need to keep in a ordered form. That answer also belongs right. Now another one, dear students, let's take P intersection Q complement. If you have to find out, then what will you do? If we have to find out P intersection Q complement, then what do you mean by this? Of course, it represents except the elements of intersected part. We need to hide the intersected part. Then if you hide this part, then other remaining elements, then except B and E, other all remaining elements belongs to P intersection Q. So let's write here what happens. A, F, comma, C, D, G, and then after, we should not forget to include the elements of complement as well. That means H. So in this way. So this is the way of taking out, excluding, or taking out, extracting the elements of any information through a Venn diagram. Now, dear friends, sometime you will be asked to find out the shaded region. One short question will be given to you. Okay, how to find out the shaded region? Question will be given. Shade P complement. In the Venn diagram, question will be written, shade the area of P complement. If question say, then which area should be shaded? The area except the P circle. That means the whole area except the P circle. So if you need to shade Q complement, then which area will you shade? Except the area. This area will be unshaded, and except that area, other area, the remaining area, inside the circle, other remaining parts of the circle, as well as the rectangular area should be covered. So let's take another example, dear students, so that you will get more information, and I hope this all you will copy, and then after, even if you are unable to take the classes in the live time, you can watch this all information in the recorded form as well through the YouTube channel of Janata Television. And this video you can watch in the evening time. It will be uploaded in evening time, and you can save as well, so that in the future, whenever necessary, you can use. Now let's take another example. Example number 2. Universal set. Let's take some elements. Let's take countable numbers, real numbers, or the natural number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's take set A as 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. It should not cross the limit of universal set. While preparing the subset of universal set, we must be careful so that the elements of the subset won't exceed the limit of universal set, because universal set always contain the maximum number of elements in comparison to its subsets. These are the subsets. Let's make another circle B. Let's make another subset B by including some elements of set A, so that we can prepare the Venn diagram of overlapping Venn diagram rather than preparing the disjoint Venn diagram. So in B set, 1, 2, then after 4, 6, 8, that much only. Let's keep only this much elements. If you have to represent, dear students, and in the Venn diagram, what will you do? First of all, you need to keep the common elements inside the Venn diagram. First of all, prepare a rectangle having the universal set U-shaped, okay, in this way always. And while preparing the Venn diagram, do not use the soft hand, dear students. Although I am using here soft hand, it is not good to use the soft hand, because the lines of the rectangle may not be straight. And then after, while preparing the circle, please use the compass and pencil so that the circle seems to be the accurate one. So let's prepare the two circles as A and B. First of all, to which elements should we have to target? Of course, the common elements. So if you see the common elements in between these two subsets of the universal set, which are common? The 1. The only one element is common in between these two subsets. So let's keep in the common area. Always we need to keep in the common area. Then after, other remaining elements, let's start keeping. First of all, let's give priority to the subset A. As we have already kept 1, now no need to keep again. Now 3, 5, 7, and 9. They belong to A difference B, dear students. That means they belong to only A. They are the pure elements of set A. So let's keep them. 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now is the turn of set B. 1 as we have already kept. Now these are remain 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Is it over? No, dear students. We have kept only the elements of set A and set B. But still, we need to plot the information, the whole information of universal set as well. So 1 already, we have already kept. 2 already. 3. In this way, you can tick in the examination as well, while solving the question, you can tick so that there won't be any kind of confusion. 3, 4 also, 5, 6, 7 also we have already kept, 8 we have already kept, 9 also. The one and only element remaining is the 10. So let's keep that element outside of the, we need to keep outside of the circle but inside of the rectangle. So wherever there is maximum or more space, blank space, in that place you can plot. So I'm going to plot here 10. So we are able to prepare the Venn diagram. We are able to keep this information in Venn diagram. Now if you have to find out, I'll give you homework, okay? You do yourself at home, and then after, so those homework, whether the homework is right or wrong, to the expert. The expert may be your elder brother or sister, or you can take the help of relatives, other relatives, as well as if you are in contact somehow through some medias with your teachers, you can consult with them. So can you find out, dear students? One thing is I have represented the whole information in Venn diagram. After looking at the Venn diagram, can you find out A difference B? You find out and show to the expert. Can you find out, dear students, B difference A? Yeah, of course, because you have already understood how to find out this one. Now number 3, can you find out complement? A complement, dear students. Similarly, can you find out B complement? Though you are finding out is same like A, set A. Now, and the question, dear students, from the same question, the tag question, can you find out, dear students, A intersection B? Next question, can you find out A union B? Another one, dear students, can you find out A union B complement? If you are able to find out these all, then you are like me. You are the expert. 7, 8 number. Now I'm going to write A intersection B complement. Can you find out from the same Venn diagram by looking at this Venn diagram? And dear students, can you find out this one? Extra question I'm adding, okay? 9. Once consult with your expert, okay? Can you find out this one? And dot A. It means, I will give you some hints, okay? This means number of elements containing in set A only. I'll give you one hint, okay? You are not allowed to write the elements, how we find out the answer in here, okay? Just only count those elements containing in set A only. This dot sign represents and dot, we pronounce it as and dot A, and it means the number of elements containing in set A only. So number of elements containing in set A means, set A only means 3, 5, 7, 9. But you are not allowed to write those elements. Just only count those numbers and exactly write how many are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means there are 4 elements. So directly we write the answer as 4. So if you have to find out this one, dear students, I will give you extra question to you. In 10 number, can you find out number of A union B? Just only count in the place of A union B, how many elements are there, and do just write the digit. Now 11 number, can you find out A intersection B? And solve this all question, and then after you can show to your expert. Thank you so much, dear students. In the upcoming day, we'll focus on the remaining parts. Thank you so much.